I am Rodney Glover. I'm your host. So we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So that's all. You'll definitely learn more about us as this podcast goes on. I'm grateful that I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what we're getting ready to get into and what we're going to start. The thing is, I've been blessed with a lot of friends that all are great men and dads. But I found that we don't talk to each other enough.
There is a difference between being a good man and being good at being a man.
Cleo and me was about all these motorcycles, all these cars, everything I could think of,
I wouldn't change a thing. Like some things you look at me like, wow, but honestly, man, I wouldn't change it. We experience and those things, ultimately make us who we are. That's what I believe. Like,
Hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Thank y'all for joining us again. Another episode here at Dad Mentality. As you know, I don't do it by myself. I got my boys here with me as we have a conversation today. My man, Emilian Grandon. We've been hanging with each other since we're 4 years old. My man, Vance Robs, a.k.a. Coach. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you all today?
Man, I'm doing good. Also,
awesome.
My boy, who's definitely now is Maddie Ice Cold Cryptocurrency, the diversified hustler. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all check him out on the ice cream truck. He's out there. I know it's still 70 degrees out there, Matt. You still pumping that ice cream? Because I couldn't believe how good the weather was.
Yeah, definitely, man. Loving this nice weather over the weekend. So yeah, definitely got the ice cream up in the shop and still, trying to do events on the truck. So definitely come check us out. Grab some of that good banana pudding ice cream, man, for the holidays.
I saw your post. I'm trying to get some of that Chuck Brownie, son. I was looking at that joint. I was like, I might have to. We might have to, even though my sugar level, I've been trying to keep it right, but hey, once in a while you gotta splurge. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, come grab a spoonful, man.
Yeah, so fellas, hey man, I'm glad to do this week, have this conversation with y'all. I'm excited about it, but like every week, we start our week with our Twitch mental health check-in, because here at Dad Mentality, we believe, you need to talk to somebody no matter what you're going through. Don't ever feel like you by yourself. You can reach out to us at dad_mentality on everything. And, or you can even put something in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Give your rating this week in our comments. Let us know how you feeling, man. And we'll respond. I definitely monitor the comments as they go in and try to respond to everybody, so. Vance, you want to go ahead and start your week? Tell us where you are. Give us your number from 0 to 10.
Yeah, man. I think I'm probably at, 8 right now. You know what I'm saying? I had a pretty productive week last week. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of things accomplished. You know what I'm saying? At work and at home. So, you know what I'm saying? The weekend was pretty good. Wife, you know what I'm saying, made it to her destination safely. You know what I mean? So I'm stuck at home right now with the bottom 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? The youngest. So, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? First couple of days went, you know what I'm saying, pretty well. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm really systematic. You know what I'm saying? When the wife isn't home, it ain't really loosey-goosey. It's boom, let's do this, and this, and then y'all can chill. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? It just makes my life a little bit easier. I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, physically I'll be tired by, you know what I'm saying, Wednesday or Thursday. Got a couple big days between tomorrow and Wednesday with the kids. So my little one, 7-year-old, just started cheerleading at the school. So today was her first day. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty exciting.
Remember them cheerleading days?
Yeah, man. So she was excited. You know what I mean? Didn't realize, you know what I'm saying, 7-year-olds could smell that bad after practice. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. She loved it to death. So they laughed it off, right? Man, working hard, man. So I think a solid 8 this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm on vacation too, so that makes things a lot better.
No, I'm
You
I'm
know what I mean?
surprised. I always thought Jack was like a little too much thuggish. She always, was my homie, but I guess as she getting older, I guess I always pictured out there playing rugby or something or knocking some
Yeah,
kids over.
yeah, man. I mean, she's definitely the toughest of the three. It's the top one, and then the one that's in overseas with my wife now. She's tough, and then it's the baby girl. You know what I mean? She's tough, but my two younger girls are real girly girls. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like girly girls and
Really.
play with dolls and all that other stuff. But Jackson can go either way, and like the light switch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She can play with the doll and then two-piece you like it's nothing. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, dog. Like she definitely is gonna be the one that they call to handle the business. You know what I'm saying? Like
when the smoke
including
is dead,
the oldest. When the smoke is dead,
I feel like she ready. She want the smoke. She gonna walk right through it. You ain't gotta call her. Her senses gonna go up. She gonna go right for that smoke.
Really is.
You always got one in the family. It's always
yeah. And man, I thought it was my oldest until Jackson checked her too. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like now Clark, my middle girl is gonna be the one that gets everybody out of jail. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The baby girl is definitely you know what I'm saying, the truth. So yeah, all in all, good week. You know what I'm saying? So my son, he's doing well, getting better at driving. So hopefully get this license soon. And we'll be good.
Remember them days.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and give my score. Let Maddie, go last. But I'm still sitting in the same 8.2, 8.3 range. Everything's pretty good. I've learned that I can't say too much about my job because now people at my job started listening to the show, so I gotta be a little more sensitive about my job and what I say. So it's a good week. This week was a good week. I had lost some business. I gained some business this week that really helped me out. A large group gave me a lot more business, so I'm excited about it and working with them. My family, as you know, I've temporarily adopted my great niece and nephew. They're great. My nephew is motivated he just got back in school. He's motivated to get good grades and do a good job. And, he's a very smart young man. I'm proud of him and I'm already excited about what he's, going to do. Hopefully get his, to keep his life together and be focused on the real things that matter. One of the things that our mantra, I have a big thing about having mantras with my kids, and his is just graduate. Don't worry about the bullshit. Like none of if it ain't helping you graduate, then it ain't even worth talking to me about or talking about, period. I don't want to hear about some dude flexing or somebody acting stupid. Hey, if that fight ain't helping you graduate, then you don't need to be in it. You know what I'm saying? If that whatever's happening ain't helping you graduate, then don't be in it. And I try to make sure I say it to him every day. Every day, keep that focus every day because it takes time. And then after a while, you build it. I do it for my youngest son. Every time he goes to school, I tell him the two things. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And then I tell him to defend himself always because he had issues with bullying and stuff like that. This year has been absolutely issue free. And ever since last year, he stood up to his bully. And then I ended up finding they was best friends anyway. But, the school put them in separate classes this year just to make sure there was none. So now when they see each other, it's so rare. They're just happy to be around each other opposed to when they were together the whole time and then end up fighting after a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's doing good. My daughter, she's amazing. I love her to death. She's doing dual enrollment. She's doing great. I do know that my daughter challenges me. My daughter is most like me, and she loves to challenge everything. Not to say everything. She loves it. She challenges me in a loving way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it isn't disrespectful, but she definitely loves to challenge me and just like and just almost just to see what my answer is. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it, and I love it, and I love her to death. She's an intelligent woman. I'm excited about what she's going to become. So it's great. My wife, she started working with your wife and doing the side gig and stuff like that. She's happy. So I mean, my life is good right now. I can't complain too much. So like I said, I'm still at that 8.2, 8.3. I think it'll get higher as the year goes on. We get closer to I'm starting to get excited for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. So, it's just about getting everything together. So, like I told y'all know how I feel. Life is peaks and valleys. Right now, I'm close to a peak. I'm going up the hill, so I'm happy, keeping it consistent. I'm just happy about that. So 8.2 is my rating. What about you, Maddie?
I'm about the same as last week, man. No changes, still just trying to stay focused, be consistent on a daily basis with some stuff I'm doing. So I'm still at a 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8. Like I'm just not too high, not too low. Just trying to keep my head down and keep pushing forward and hitting some quotas that I need to hit. To try to fulfill something that is some new business that I'm trying to get. So just staying focused, man. But feeling good, taking care of the family. Wife, feeling good. She had a couple things to do this week, procedures. We was up in Baltimore this morning, had an early start, had to be up in White Marsh off the early morning. So but just when she feeling good, I'm feeling pretty good, you know what I mean? So, as long as the family good and everything good around the house, I'm all right, but definitely trying to take some time for myself, man. Been getting back on my walking and different stuff, trying to make sure I take care of self. Like even when you're doing business, trying to take care of the family, sometimes we gotta pause, you know what I mean? And take a moment for yourself, for ourselves, man. Make sure that we good, you know what I mean? Like you said, talk to somebody, talk to yourself, or whatever you need to do to get your release throughout the week. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just push forward, but you need to, take that reliever for yourself some days, man. But
all right. So I just thought about this, Maddie. So we're gonna put it. I'm put it into the air, put it to existence. We're gonna have a Dad Mentality sponsored walk and bikeathon. Just throwing that out there. Walk and bike, like because we walk Vans bikes. I'm not getting that on that damn bike and doing no 25 miles. I'd rather walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just something to throw out there. I'm gonna think about it.
Hey, let's figure out how we can do it.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, we start planning it now. We put that Matty Ice truck out there for the ice cream to get you all excited and go. But we're gonna plan that for this summer. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out in existence, and just something that came through, and maybe we'll do it. Like I can think, all right, this one I'm thinking of already. Henson Creek, that Henson Creek Trail where you go all the way to what you call it. So Vance and them can ride all the way down to wherever the hell they ride and back. And, we'll just walk the Tucker Road. You know what I'm saying? We'll just walk the Tucker Road. And we'll call it our event, get some people, I definitely can get some people out there. I know Van's got his crew. He'll probably get some people out there too.
Yeah, my crew, my hood crew live on that side of town. So, you know what I mean? The gangsters, the original OGs live over there. And we got a really good route from Andrews all the way down to Fort Washington Park.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Off of 210. So
hey, something I'm throwing out there, fellas. We're gonna make something happen.
People ride bikes too, like
Well, if you want to ride, Maddie, feel free.
I don't ride. I know a few people who ride though.
Yeah, you good. I'm not riding. I'm not doing that shit. I've done it once. I did it once, and the old lady passed me in the little basket joint, rung her bell.
It's one time, Robbie.
That made me so unmotivated, son.
But then
I was starting to die. She lapped me up. I was like, oh nah, I'm good.
Hey, dog. So if you're riding in the cord, no matter what you do, you ain't gonna be able to keep up with no Porsche.
She
You
had
don't
a
know what.
basket and a bell on her bike, dog.
And guess what? It could have been a Porsche with a bumper cover, dog. You don't know what type of bike that lady had for real.
Hey, yo,
You
she
know what I
was
mean? It's just
cruising,
what you
son. She was
thought.
cruising. And she looked like she was a good 60. I don't even know.
Oh, well,
But, you know,
AJ,
nah, she wasn't a
no,
60. I don't think she was really, I don't know how old she was, but, you know, black don't crack with
Right.
women. So I have no idea how old she was. But I
Man,
know when
there's
she
some
rung that bell and
7-year-olds
she
out here that
passed
can
me and I
roll.
was wheezing, when she rung that bell and she passed me as I was wheezing, my feeling, all my manhood was hurt, son. I was like, yeah, but we're to go into that now. You know, anyway, we talking about self-worth. So when she passed me with that bell, my self-worth went down a lot. So
Yeah, you can't.
I was like, yeah, I'm good. Now when I'm walking, I can handle that, man. I don't mind walking. I got my headset or whatever. I'm good. Oh shit, we lost Maddie. All right, that's new. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and I guess we're gonna pause through the calls real quick. Get my man back. I'm sure something happened. Electricity, something went off, but we'll see. All right, we had a short delay, but we back real quick. Got my man Maddie Ice Cold Crypto back in here. You know, he said his sales wasn't that good this week. You know, he ain't pay his bill, so he had to pay his bill real quick, get his internet back up. But it's all good. We still love him.
He dropped off this joint like cryptocurrency dropped at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, man. It's ups and downs, man. It's ups and downs, peaks and valleys.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, it's all good though. But hey, fellas, so I kind of wanted to round off our conversation. We talked about relationships. We talked about changing your mindset, and I wanted to talk about self-worth. It was something that was on my mind and my heart this week. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about or what, I wanted to bring to the show. So, one thing I feel that we as men definitely have self-worth, is us guys, but it's a lot of people out here that don't even know that they control like their self-worth. They control it. And so first I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna start with the definition of self-worth, and this is Webster's. It is a sense of one's own value as a human. Now, the biggest key to this whole thing is a sense of one's own. So it's yours. It's your value. It's where you value yourself. So I feel like nowadays in this world, it's a lot of other things that tell you your value, and they don't matter. And people put value on what these other things. So my conversation to y'all and dealing with my kids and stuff like that, and even myself, it took a long time for me to learn this. But it definitely was something that I had to make sure I instilled in my kids, especially with social media. So now with social media, we talked about at one time on the show, we talked about the show, what is it called? Black, God, now I'm blanking on it. But anyway, I'll come back to it. So now my question to you is this. When you talk to your kids about their self-worth and getting them to understand it, do you feel that social media in the way that it's set up, that you put a post and people get likes, people are taking pictures of themselves, and the likes and comments and this, that, and the other changes how people value themselves? So in other words, people put out comments and then they're looking every 10 seconds. What did people say? What are they doing? Did they like it? Do they like this picture of me? And if you're on social media, I know that most of us are in some capacity. How do you feel about that? What does that look like to you? Or when you see this, or you see, like right now, I see a lot of thirst traps too. So my question is what is that to you?
I mean, I could go first on that. So, like, I agree with the stuff you're saying. Like, a lot of people put too much value into other people's opinions, and social media is one of the leading causes for that, right? The only time I personally like social media is birthday. That's the only good thing that came out of Facebook to me as far as likes, because multiple people will tell you happy birthday, right? And a lot of people don't get that acknowledgement on their birthday, right? So I think that's really the only good like. Everybody else is looking for affirmation from other things, from other people, what they say. Do people agree? It's a form of like, for as much as it can build you up, it can tear you down, right? Because when you don't get it, you know what I mean. You try to achieve it in different ways, and just from a kid perspective, they're living in a world and time where not only can their friends give positive and negative affirmation, people they don't even know can
There
give
you go.
positive and negative affirmation, right? You know what I'm saying? At least if Rodney told me, hey, yo, you're trash in Mortal Kombat, it was between me and Rodney, right? You know what I mean? Not between me and the world. And I knew Rodney was my true friend. So I knew when he was talking trash. I knew when he meant stuff. I knew when he didn't mean stuff. In the world of social media, like people will just target you just to tear you down. As you know
Just
what I
to get a
mean?
reaction. That
Just to
most
get a
time they just trying to
reaction.
get a reaction. To be honest, like
Yeah.
that's nothing. We've been seeing that from school. People,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just amplified now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with everything y'all was saying. About social media, how it plays a part and what people may think. But I guess just going back is how do you equate what self-worth is? I guess it goes back to trying to build self-confidence in ourselves or build self-confidence in our kids, you know what I mean? Try to so they have a a high self-esteem. So then they don't work, they're not worried about what everybody thinks. Like of course everybody wants some type of social acceptance, but you know what I mean, they gotta know what's real, but I guess perception is reality, you know what I mean? So to them it's a big deal. We looking at it like, why are you tripping over somebody said on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, you know what I mean? We looking at it like that, but to them, you know what I mean, it's a huge deal. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? If
Yeah.
yeah, they in school and something trending or whatever they following and there's something about them, yeah, they're gonna feel a certain type of way if all their peers saying it. You know what I mean? So I can see how it definitely can play a major part in today's society. I'm not sure what we can do about it because I go back to us. Like even in our day, we had our kind of levels of it. It just wasn't what it is now with social media. Like you said, it was between you and Ron. It was maybe between whoever was there. If something embarrassing happened at a party, it was just whoever was there to experience it. But now that joint might get recorded and you know
Oh,
what
it
I
ain't no
mean?
might anymore.
Yeah,
Everything's
it
recorded.
is going viral. You know what
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? So now your embarrassment lives forever online. You know what I'm saying? So it is definitely different. It's definitely
Yeah.
different.
I
But
I I talk to my kids a lot about these issues. Like for instance, I tell my daughter all the time, like I was like, let me ask you a question. Who's your friend in kindergarten? And she goes, well, I don't remember. I said, you won't remember the person that's commenting right now. I said,
Mm-hmm.
10 years from now, you won't remember it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, you're lucky if you still have one friend from high school. If you got two, then you're super blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole time, these people don't matter. Like, it don't matter. Like, nothing here matters. And I mean, I understand because I remember when I was in high school, I understand that there was a lot of things that I considered to matter that really didn't. And but I have to continue to keep on telling our kids or telling my kids or telling my son that like it doesn't matter. Like these people mean nothing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
yeah.
it's all about how you feel about yourself. And then I go, well, let me ask you a question. And now here's the next question is how do you feel about when people ask you for your opinion? And that's what I tell my daughter. Like every time I say, don't post something that you're not willing to accept somebody's opinion, because anytime you post something or put something out there, you're putting yourself open for anyone's opinion.
Yep.
So don't post something that you don't want somebody. If you don't want nobody's opinion, then don't post it. You know what I'm saying? But if you post something, then you have to be open. But you have to be secure enough to know that whatever that person says could be true. So to me, I say to my daughter or my kids or even myself, is it true? Whatever they just said, is it true? Because if it ain't true, then it doesn't matter. But then if it is true, then to me, that's more considered like constructive criticism. But you also got to know who you're receiving it from. Like you said, there are people that are dedicated and giving negativity or whatever the case may be. So constructive criticism is good. But even me myself, I see a lot of things and I don't comment. Like I don't comment just because I don't feel that it's my place. And B, unless you ask me directly, I'm not going to say nothing to you anyway. I don't care what you do. This goes back to one of the things, Van said last time. Like, I don't care what people do in their relationships. I don't care what
like a lot of times, like negative things like shouldn't be written down or said. Like, you know what I mean? You shouldn't text something negative. You shouldn't write something. Like if it's something that need to be said that's negative, like you want to write positive stuff down about people. Like, because like you say, if it's constructive criticism, you don't really, it's not for everybody else to hear, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't comment nothing negative, you know what I mean, like on social media about somebody, you know what I mean? Even if I did feel a certain type of way about what they posted, I don't have to agree with it. You know
what
if
they ask you a question? What if they actually ask a question on social media? Then
look,
how do you
I still don't have I'm saying they ask me, Craig may have like asked a question to everybody. I still wouldn't necessarily answer in a negative way. You know what I mean? I don't think I would put anything negative down.
Yeah, it's tough when you start. I think our era that we grew up in, we were more don't put your business out there like that.
Yeah.
And don't let people know what you're thinking. Right? You know what I mean? So to see these young kids, they're half the stuff they put out there ain't true. And half of it is for affirmation. Like for likes, right? You know what I'm saying? So with our kids, you know what I'm saying, in our household, like me and my wife are big on words of affirmation to our kids, like affirming them and who they are. And them being okay with who they are. My one daughter is probably the second tallest person in her class. And that's awkward, right? You know what I'm saying? Because she's a girl, she's already 5'4", and she's 10 years old. Right? So she walks around like she's in the 8th grade. You know what I mean? And it's like, is there some insecurities that we may or may not see in that? Yeah, she might have some insecurities, but like we tell her, hey, guess what? You know what I mean? I'm only 5'8", and mom's only 5'4", 5'3.5". So the likelihood that you're gonna be 6'3" and lanky and tall is probably slim to none. But you got to be okay with that regardless, because you're still beautiful inside and out. You know what I mean? And as parents, I think we're the start of, you know what I'm saying, affirming them, you know what I'm saying, with, hey, try everything, go after whatever dream you have, right? If it doesn't work out, move to the next dream. You know what I'm saying? But don't let nobody stop you from doing what you want to do, because you the one that got to live with what you want to do, right? Nobody else has to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you do something and you fail, it is what it is. I failed at everything. I'm at the stage of my life I can't beat none of my kids in none of their video games anymore, and that's kind of devastating to me right now. But you know what I mean? Hey, guess what? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And that's
just to be honest with you, be honest with he was never really good in the first place, to be honest with him. But I'm gonna go ahead and let that go.
Fighting games, I ain't gonna lie, I was trash. Fighting games, I was trash. Sports games, I can get busy with you. But fighting games, nah, I was complete trash. Nah, my fingers and the combinations never. My brain wasn't working fast enough. Bro.
Just button mashing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just button matches. That's all I was doing, dog. You know what I'm saying? So much so I'd be like, yo, let's go put the regular boxing gloves on and let's see
there
if
you
you can
go.
throw let's see if you can throw them
it
hands.
outside.
It's quick. Let's see if you can throw them
I've
hands
done that.
as quick.
I ain't gonna lie. Me and my son refuse to play the same games now. My oldest, we refuse to play the same games because we go hard, son. Like
Yeah.
me and him, we will insult each other to each other's faces. We playing like Mario Kart. We used to play Mario Kart like it was sudden death in his house. We used to play for chores. We used to play for push-ups. We used to play everything. Yo, now we can't even be in the same room playing the same game before we get ready to kill each other. So you know, but nah, I feel you on that. But nah, it's all good. Now to go back to now we talked about our kids a little bit. I want us to talk about ourselves a little bit.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna give y'all a quote real quick, and tell me what you think when I say this quote or what it feels to you, how it means to you. So and this is a big thing with a lot of people out there in social media and stuff like that they're saying, love me with all my flaws. Now, when it comes to a relationship and this, that, and other, you tell a person to love you with all their flaws. What does that mean? Well, I'm gonna go first real quick because I'm just gonna explain to y'all my thought process on that one. So when in theory, that comment is something that sounds like you're strong and you're very okay with yourself. But then to ask somebody to love you with all your flaws, in my opinion, means that you're too okay with yourself. Because if you have flaws, to me, it sounds like I'm not going to work on these flaws. And to me, that's unfair. Now, if you say I'm flawed, but every day I'm trying to do better, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? But when you say to somebody, love me and all my flaws, it sounds like you're being very standoffish, in my opinion. Now, me, myself, personally, one of my biggest things is I say I'm flawed. I understand that I'm flawed. I made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes I learned from, but one thing I'm not going to tell you is that, I'm not trying to do better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do better. And when I hear that statement for myself, love me and all my flaws, which I understand, which is very great if you're understanding yourself, because I think that's the first step. You got to really understand yourself. But you can't settle with just knowing yourself. You got to settle with you got to try to do better. So what do y'all think about that?
So here's the thing. In a relationship, you know what I'm saying, there's all right. So it is very easy to unconditionally love your kids.
Okay.
And their flaws.
Yeah.
Every parent can do that. In a marriage, you learn how to love people with their flaws. Right? You know what I mean? Because you don't know what the flaws are 100% in the beginning. 100%. Right? You know what I mean?
I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
But as far as self, you got to love yourself too and your flaws, right? Because if you love yourself enough, your flaws will slowly start to, the flaws that you see in yourself, not the flaws that other people see, but the flaws that you see in yourself, you will then start to work on those flaws, right? So if somebody said, love me for all my flaws, first thing I'm going to say is love yourself and your flaws and start to work on your flaws. And I'm going to love you for who you are. In a relationship. Yeah. Outside of a relationship, I don't got to love you for nothing. I don't got to love you for your flaws. Like, I got a choice on whether or not I want to love you at all. You know what I mean? But in a marriage, yes, you got to love your wife for all her flaws. But in a marriage, you're always looking at yourself and how you could do better. So those flaws are forever changing. Your kids, I don't care what anybody says, 99, well, I ain't gonna say 90% of people love their children in every flaw that they have.
Yeah, I get that. That's respectful. I understand it. Yeah, that's
Gonna
why.
love 'em.
Yeah. Nah.
I want to piggyback because it's like you said, it's unconditional. So if you saying somebody tell you to love me with all my flaws, like flaws come in different forms. Like so I see what you were saying, Ronnie. Like that sounds a little selfish, like you're not trying to worry about them. But that I would say it's at different stages. It's at that moment right then. Like you gotta love me with all my flaws. Not saying that I'm not trying to work on my flaws, but you know what I mean? This is who I am at this moment. You gotta, you know what I mean, accept me for the flaws, you know what I mean? Same way I accept you for your flaws that you got. Then we can help each other achieve. So I would say it's not, it don't have to be just one thing, like you're saying. Like it don't have to be a selfish statement. It could just be a statement of what is right now. This is who I am now. And yes, I'm working on it, but could you accept me for who I am if I'm not able to change? You know what I'm saying? Love me with all my flaws. You know what I mean? So it's unconditional love because, you know, we all got friends, family, love, you know, man, loved ones who you accept who they are. Like you still love them. You know what I mean? You know who they are. You know what I mean? And you know that sometimes it's not even a bad thing. That's just how they are. Everybody got their ways, but that way may just rub you the wrong way, but you still love them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it depends on what it is too, whether you able to live with it. But I don't think it's a selfish statement to say, love me for who I am with all my flaws and still be able to work on your flaws at the same
Well,
time.
if you working on them, it's not. That's what I'm being. Ooh, sorry. Because the thing about self-worth is that, in my opinion, this is my opinion, that the self-worth, you can never be, what's the word I'm looking for? You can never be okay. You're always working to be better. It's one of the things even we talked about
Striving for
on the,
more.
yeah, you know, if I'm 1% better than I was yesterday, then I'm moving in the right direction. But there's a lot of people that now the whole I guess the whole agenda is well, if he or whatever in my relationship, they don't love me for who I am, then they don't love me. And in some aspects it's true that a person does need, if they choose to love you, they need to love you for who you are. But you personally, and that's when we go back to self-worth, is you can never be settled. You should never say to myself, I'm perfect. Like, no, if you don't love me, you gotta love me for me. You should never say that. I feel like when you say that to a person, you're giving them an ultimatum. And if you in your mind think you don't have something to fix or work on, then that's a flaw. That right there is a flaw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That can be very detrimental. If you think you're perfect, or you're giving a person a stance like, you know, love me now for who I am and that's it, then that is the most damaging thing I feel you can do for yourself. Because if you are so high on your horse that you're not saying I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's
One of my statements is if you're not growing, you're dying. So you should always be trying to grow and look for more. But I will say this, like I agree, and that's how we look at things. But man, like through somebody else's eyes, hopefully, you know, that's somebody who you meet and you're not already married to that person or something. But if that's how they think, I can't say that you can say that they wrong because we don't really know their vision right at that moment that they going through whatever they trying to fulfill in their life. You know what I mean? And they may need to have that focus to think that way at that moment in time. And not saying that they're thinking won't change later in life. So I can't really. So I don't like to say whether somebody right or wrong. Like if they maybe feel a certain type of way that they think they know it all. Like it's gonna come to a point in time where they're gonna learn that they don't know it all. But at that moment in time, they may need to learn a lesson at whatever they're trying to go through. So you know what I mean? So you can try to talk to that person and maybe help them see the way. But at the same time, like I don't like to tell somebody that because I don't know their mission. I don't know what mission that they may be on. So you know what I mean? I try to help guide people, but at the same time, like sometimes you don't know. They could be on their right journey that they need to be on for themselves. And I don't, you know,
Yeah,
can't try to save everybody either. So it's like I can't say that they wrong. You know what I mean? I try not to say nobody wrong. I just don't know. I just wish them well. You know what I mean? I wish them health, wish them well. You know.
But you're not saying anything. That's the problem. You're not.
But
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but you're not. You know,
you can't say that somebody thinking is wrong though. You know what I mean?
I kind of get what Maddie's saying, man. He pretty much like you don't know because you don't know the situation. Like if somebody says you got to love me for my flaws. For all we know, they could have just been in a relationship where the only thing that was pointed out to them was flaws. Right? You know what I mean? And if they were in that relationship and it was a verbal abusive relationship where, hey, you got to do this. You're too big. You're too small. You're broke. You're this. And they've been verbally abused based on their flaws. Somebody may have the perception of you have to love me for my flaws, right? And that's understandable, right? Because that's where. That's what whoever meant something to them was stating to them, right? So I kind of understand that somebody making that statement, but it's also like them understanding what their own identified flaws are, and if they're fixing their own identified flaws. Because Rodney, you can say I got a flaw that I might not believe is a flaw to me. It's a flaw to you, right? You know what I'm saying? So back to self-worth.
Exactly. Yeah.
If my flaws are flaws to you, so what? Because they're my flaws, right? And if I don't believe that they're flaws to me, then I'm gonna keep working towards myself. Especially if I'm not now. If my wife says something, that's different because we're in a relationship. I'm talking about just friendships because that's where a lot of your flaws come from too, friendships as well, right? You know what I'm saying, and so forth. And whatever my flaws are the ones that I need to be working on. So if somebody said that, it depends on the situation, and it could mean something to them, but it definitely they need to look inside themselves and understand what flaws they have and what their self-worth is to them, and then work on those, right? You know what I mean? And don't allow other people's opinionated flaws of you determine your self-worth.
Exactly. And that just goes on all sides of it. And that's kind of what I was saying. Like sometimes like somebody might think they can't be taught nothing. And if that's the case, that may not be the person that I want to be around. I say my piece, but I can't say that they are wrong. You know what I mean? Because they may be achieving exactly what they're trying to achieve in their life.
What they need to achieve in their life to get better.
Acting the way that they
act. Even in that, they're still trying to get better. I'm just talking about the extreme. I'm not talking about the general. I'm talking about the extreme person that's like, love me for my flaws, and they feel like they're perfect. That's the person I'm talking about. So that is the extreme person in that thing. Now I understand what y'all are saying that, because I mean, shit, I've definitely said that to a person. You know, I've said it to my wife. I'll be honest with you. I don't got nothing to, you know, I don't hide myself on this at all. But I've said it to my wife, but you know, at that point in time, I thought I was right. Now where I am, I know that I was never right. I needed to build and every day that's like my goal now. Every day is my goal to be better, man. I'm telling you. And I mean, you know, when I talk to Coach, me and Coach talk, we've had conversations. And I'll tell you, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I make mistakes. But the thing about it is I'm really trying to learn from my mistakes. I'm really trying to get to that next step. And I feel like I do feel like there's some extreme people that take that stance and stand on it, and that's really the stance that's hurting them. So that's just my part of that. I just wanted to throw that out there. But let's go on. I'm gonna go on to the next one. So this is one of the things that I say to my kids, and I've even said it to my nephew recently. And this is never stay in a place where people don't know your value. And to me, that as far as self-worth, that's one of the biggest things that we make mistakes. That we are in you're in a place where a person doesn't value you. And that can be your job, that can be school, that can be a relationship, that can be a friendship, that can be so many different things. But never stay in a place where people don't know your value. But the big thing about that is, first of all, you got to know your value. Because a lot of people stay in places where they don't know their value and they undervalue themselves, so they didn't stay. You got to really know your value and really know who you are and be confident in who you are to know when it's okay to leave. Like, yo, I'll tell and this is a conversation that I have with people and this, that, and the other, and just to give an example, I've talked to my daughter. I'm gonna go to my daughter. I had a different example, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my daughter. I know she's very confident in everything we talk about, but she had a friend who was a great friend. I loved her friend personally. I love all her friends. They're like daughters to me, especially her really close ones. And this friend, they got into a fight, and she was like, this was her elementary school friend. So now she's in high school, and this girl's saying things or doing this or doing that, and she comes to me and she's like, I don't understand how it hurts my feelings. And I was like, well, that friend holds no value. If she doesn't value you as a friend of this point in time, it's okay to leave. It's okay to say no. It's okay. And I really feel like we've all been there. Like, everybody's at some point in your life, you're going to be there where a person doesn't hold your value, but you still want to be their friend. And I really feel like the hardest thing for a person to do is to recognize their value and leave. Just say it's not worth it. And just go, it's not even, whatever this person's talking about, whatever they want to do is not, I'm not going to give them that power. I've talked a lot about power and giving people power. I'm not going to give them that power that I'm going to sit here and just allow this. I can walk away. Like, literally, it's so easy. Just walk away. That's all you got to do. And so when that statement is said to y'all, how do you feel? Never stay in a place where people don't know your value.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. Like, with that, and it's different levels of it. You know what I mean? Like, again, going back to your self-worth, it can deal with relationships. You see that a lot in relationships. You know what I mean? It's just because people get into a comfort zone, even at work or different things like that. They get into, they're comfortable where they at. They're comfortable in the relationships that they have. So even though they probably have outgrown those relationships, or maybe are aspiring for more, they just stay where they, comfortable at. So I think it's a different level of, you got to want to achieve more and to continue to grow as well when it comes to that, to knowing your self-worth. You know what I mean? Like, because you grow as a person. So where you started off isn't ultimately where you want to end up at, or that's not the end all be all. So you growing throughout the journey. So sometimes it's difficult for people to maybe let go of some relationships, and those relationships, again, could be a job, it could be people, it could be friends, that allows them not to reach their full potential and what their self-worth could be. But
Oh yeah,
so
no doubt. I mean, I'm with you on that, man. I mean, I think like you know what I'm saying. I was reading something a couple years back, and it was like, show me your friends, and I'll show you where you're going.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
And essentially, you know what I'm saying. The statement was, you know what I'm saying. If you are the smartest in your circle, it's time to change your circle.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's just that, and that's just you telling yourself that you're more valuable than who you're around right now. So you got, in order to grow, you got to change. You can't be the most valuable one in the circle, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's from a friendship and work relationship and all that perspective. You know what I'm saying? In your personal relationship, you know what I'm saying? It's such as marriage or with your kids, like you gotta they will appreciate your value more than outsiders, but you gotta also know your value in your relationship and your spouse and or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever uh, uh, relationship you're in. They gotta know your value as well, and you have to know their value, and you got to be able to articulate their value to them, and you should be able to reciprocate the value that they appreciate of you. So but just from a pure friendship and friendship standpoint, yeah, like your circle defines you, right?
Yeah, I like
And
that.
you know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand, just by looking at your circle, if you're the most valuable one in that circle, yeah, it's about time to change the circle. It doesn't mean you in relationships or you in friendships. It's just the circle has to change, right? So like I could be in our circle, you know what I'm saying, and we growing in this perspective, and I can still talk to my man. It's just
Yeah.
we on different levels of it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that mean I'm ending it with you. Your daughter's friend is still her friend. It's just we in a different place right now, right? You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's what a lot of kids don't foresee. You know what I mean? Because you think about it, friendship is the key, you know what I'm saying, to children in elementary school, middle school, and high school. It's all about friends, all about friends, all about friends. When us three as adults know that it's probably only 2 shovel friends you got, and you got a bunch of associates. And y'all know what I mean by the shovel friends, right? So, you know what I mean? And everybody else, yeah, we cool, but what I call him my friend, my man, you know what I'm saying? We cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the circle. That's what kids don't understand at a younger age. So
yeah,
That made a lot of sense.
different. Especially when they meeting friends, you know what I mean? Friends is different nowadays. Like you grew up outside playing with your friends, like different type of bond we was having back then. When we was growing up. You know what I mean? Now,
But a lot of times they think somebody they met on the internet, never seen before, is their friend.
Yeah, that's
even
crazy
now,
to me.
and some I get that too. You know, it is a different dynamic, and I even tell I tell my daughter and tell my kids that that real friends, because they'll be there at the end, and even if you break up, you still become you'll come back. I always tell the story of me and Coach Vance. I was like, when we turned 17, we realized we had to stop being friends just so we don't end up dead together. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
stuff
still
was
remember the
going on.
conversation.
It was like, we gotta like this. We both started seeing our prospective wives and this, that, and the other, and even just going there, it just got to a point where it was like, hold on, like this life, like we got to do better, like for real. Like
I still remember the conversation. Pastor Dorsey said, "Me, you, and Ray down."
Okay.
In the corner, it was like, bruh, either y'all going to jail or you gonna get separated. Y'all need to separate yourselves, one of the two. And that's a hard conversation at 17, bruh.
Yeah, hey, Shouts out to Pastor Dorsey, Elevate Church. Hey, I still talk about him. Hey, so I took my nephew to church with me. I introduced him to him today. I told him the story. I was like, yeah, this is my youth pastor. Like, this dude believed in me when nobody else did. You know what I'm saying? And believed in us. You know, hey, man, Pastor Dorsey, amazing. We had his son on here when we did the Boys of Hope. Check him out. You know, it was still good shots. But anyway, let's go back to, we're going to keep it on self-worth. So my next question that I wanted to bring up, or let's see, never replace a role. Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you feel that a person has the right to expose your flaws? So in other words, what person to you, and you kind of hit it too, but what person to you is the person that can expose your flaws, that can talk to you about the fact? Because let's get some straight. Well, nobody's perfect. So who is that person for you personally that can expose your flaws or can? And I'll go first. So,
what do you mean by exposed though? Like when you use the word exposed, it sounds, you know, devious. Like that's like, can they talk to you, bring them up? Exposed sound like somebody trying to, like they got dirt on you, trying to, you know what I mean?
Exposed. Let's be honest. So I'll say it out. I'll say it out loud. And I'll say, I'll start with Vance. So Vance is a person that can't expose my flaws. Vance has had conversations with me about my flaws and this, that, and the other. And I can respect him because he walks a certain line. So
he's expressing that to you.
Yeah,
right. And I'm not expressing it to everybody else, right?
Yeah, so that's not exposing. He's expressing it to you.
Oh, no, yeah, okay. Yeah. So, but when I thought about the question or put that out there, it's more of a social media type question, because a lot of people put themselves out there. Like, for instance, I put myself out here. I'm out here. I'm on social media. I put this on my Facebook, this, that, and the other. And somebody could definitely jump on here and say whatever they want to say. Now, let's get one thing straight. I don't care. You got the wrong person if you think you're going to hurt my feelings. I promise you. I say things and do things and say conversations with my kids or whatever. I'm very secure in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the type of dude that I'm okay with the smoke. Like if you want to say something, you want to have as long as you're willing to have a conversation, then I'm okay. Now, if you just want to say something and you don't want to have a conversation, then I'm not okay. That's not what, I'm about the conversation because I like learning. I like learning about myself or learning about someone else and how they handle with things. So now my question is, because this was me personally, so I have people that talk to me about things, and sometimes I have to make decisions. Like, am I going to be honest with this person, or am I just going to be gentle? When do you ever feel it's okay? And I mean this as somebody actually asked you, like, did they ask you, like, what do you feel about this? When is the time to, I guess, help? When is the time to heal? When is the time? How do you feel? What do you make that judgment? I guess it's definitely when it happens, you making that decision on terms. But there's some people that feel like if you ask me, you're going to get the truth. I know I've felt that way. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer. Now, at one point in time, that was my mantra. Now it's not my mantra anymore. Because sometimes it's not even worth it to me to even give you that answer if I know you're not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So just questioning, even myself, I don't ask a question unless I want the answer. So, do you feel it's right to expose a person's flaws? Do you feel like it's right is it okay to say to you, and I'm going to keep it let's keep it general. Your kids, your wife, your family, yourself. And if you don't want to answer the question, don't answer. But do you feel it's okay to have, or how do you have that conversation? And I'll go back. You know what? I'm going to give you all the full explanation because this is what I've been practicing now. now I've been practicing with my wife to lead by example. I never say anything. I'm not going to say to her that I felt she messed up or she didn't do this correctly. I have been consistently now trying to lead by only doing what I know is right and not letting my feelings come to the point where I express how I feel about something because she didn't do what I wanted her to do.
Mm.
So it's something that, you know, I struggle with it. I'm telling you, this week was tough for that, and I'm okay with it. My wife already knows. I've already talked to her previously about this episode and told her that I would be revealing some things. So I'm already good with, you know, that. Me and my wife have a very great relationship. So, but that's what I've been trying to practice. And to be honest with you, it's been working because I know I'm not perfect. And I know that my wife, if anybody knows my flaws, it's her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knows my flaws. So I kind of feel like if I sit there and start telling her what her flaws is, then she's going to start telling me what my flaws are, and nothing will be accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just my question to y'all is dads and husbands on the show. How do you handle that? Do you lead by example? Do you tell your wife? Do you tell do you come out and tell your kids? And even with my kids, it's the same thing. I've been doing the same thing, that I just lead by example and try to make sure that they understand. I try to say it without saying it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, how do y'all feel? What do y'all think about
that? With my wife is similar to you, and she if she doesn't want to know the answer to, she's not gonna ask a question she don't want to know the answer to. Right. So if my wife really wants to understand her flaw, from my opinion, she will come out and ask me the question, and I'll give her the answer. Outside of that, it's more of if she asks my opinion on something or how to do something, or ask my opinion on how she could have done better, I'll give her that straight answer. To come out right and just tell her something, I'm pretty gentle about it. If I don't agree, I'm like, oh, okay, if that's what you choose, then that's what you choose. Because sometimes the latter is, if I know that you're set on doing something with my wife, if I know she's set on doing something, I'm just going to let her figure it out her way. Even though I may do it a better way, or I may think I can do it a better way, or I may think it may work better out this way, I'll just give my opinion and then let it ride from there, right? As far as my kids are concerned, I try to utilize their flaws as teaching moments, right? So when they fail, now I'm going to teach you how to do it this way. Now I'm going to teach you how to do it that way. If they don't listen off the gate. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always leave the door open for questions if they don't know. And I always caveat everything. Well, if I'm gonna do it, I would do it this way. But you can do it your way. But if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it this way. And then let them make the decision. And that's just a teaching moment for my kids on how to get things accomplished, right? It's funny, and well, I'm going through this stage with my 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying, about a bunch of things. So it's just like the advice part for my kids. For my wife, I'll give my advice, I'll give my opinion, but oftentimes my wife is a perfectionist. So although I'm not a perfectionist, she's going to go through every step to accomplish the goal. Whereas I'm going to skip every step I can possibly skip and accomplish the goal faster. Does that make sense? Right? You know what I mean? But her joy's going to be perfect. Like, you ain't going to be able to go back and say, skip the step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, and guess what? Me skipping all those steps might be a flaw because I may miss something throughout the steps. Yeah. Right? But she may take longer doing stuff.
Yeah. You like me when I build a cabinet. sometimes there's extra screws that's left over, and I'd be like,
Right.
like, I don't even know where these go. But here's the cabinet.
Yeah. So
Cabinet
yeah,
still
I
standing.
mean,
Yeah.
but my wife is good at calling my flaws out to me. So she
Hold on,
will.
but does she do them ask or not ask? You know what I'm saying?
She at most time both, but the other thing is it goes back to like looking in the mirror on things, right? You know what I mean? So the one thing that we used for a while when we were in a couple classes together is like, hey, you might want to look in the mirror on that one and kind of just move on. You know what I mean? And that was just the trigger. You know what I mean? And go from there. So I think your wife, your kids can call out your flaws too when they get old enough.
My daughter definitely, she loves to do that.
Yeah, and your friends would, and your true friends will call out your flaws.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's what I tell my kids all the time. Like the people that care about you, and I mean call out the flaws like Maddie was saying. Vance went to Rodney. Vance didn't go to Maddie to go to Rodney. I'm talking about your true friends that come to you about your flaw, not to the world about your flaw.
Heard. Yeah, not on social media, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Now you how you feel? You got something to say about that?
That's kind of what I was gonna say, man. My thoughts about it, you know what I mean. Going back to, I'm trying to like get back to the original question, but that was kind of my thoughts on it though.
Original question. Man, I lost it.
Who can call out your flaws?
Yeah. Who can call out your flaws? Like, do you feel it's do you feel a person has the right to call out your flaws? Do you feel your wife has the right? Do you feel who, or do you call out other people for how? When does it become the right time to call out a person's flaw? Also,
I don't really think it. You need to call out nobody's flaws, and it depends on your relationship. Like if my wife or me, if me and her are, if I'm trying to express how I feel about something, it's not necessarily calling out the flaw, but you letting someone know how you feel about maybe something that they're doing that you think it is a flaw. You know what I mean? So so you not necessarily calling out, but you bring it up. The same thing if they have an issue with the way I'm doing something or something that could be a flaw, they bring it to your attention. You know what I mean? So not like necessarily calling you out, using it at a moment when y'all arguing, like you be doing, you know what I mean? That's not how, you know what I mean? That's not how you do it. You know what I mean? So it's just, it all depends, you know what I mean? But I can definitely take it from a true friend, from, you know what I mean, my wife, you know what I mean? Just people who I know have your best interests in mind. But like, again,
but not social media.
Yeah, but nah, why would you? Yeah, like that's totally different. If somebody, you know what I mean, they could, but that's just totally different because it's the intention behind the call out. Like, what's your intention behind calling me out? Are you calling me out to help me do better because you truly care about me, or are you trying to put me out there, pull my card? You know what I'm saying? So that's two totally different things for somebody to call. Like, it could be true, but why? You know what I mean? Like, the intention is two totally different things, and intentions mean a lot. You know what I mean? Behind why somebody does something to you or says something to you. You know what I mean? So, your friends, family, their intentions is because hey, we see you maybe going down the wrong path. We see you doing this. We see X, Y, and Z. We just want to bring it to, you know what I mean? Like, you good, you need some help, you need this. Like, they can be calling out a flaw, like, you know what I mean? Or something like that versus somebody else calling out a flaw and trying to pull your card, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Nah, I got you. But I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and recap this and close it up in just my just a real quick opinion, and y'all definitely can too. If you have a quote or whatever you want to give at the end of this, just to say what self-worth is and why it is very And one of the big things I always talked about that I've dealt with and I've struggled with and I've learned now in my 40s, it took me until I got to this age. Literally, it took me really until I started doing this show with y'all. And that is, don't give other people power over your life. No one. But your life is you. The only person that should have power over you is you and God. That's it. And to me, that's the only perfect person that you can talk to. But you also have to listen. You also have to take that time to really, really give yourself to that. So for me, don't give power to anybody else. That's social media, that's friends, that's this, that, and other. Even if somebody, even as close as my wife, her comments and her things are definitely to make me a better person. But my power is still my power. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect, and you have to have that power over yourself. Nobody's opinion even your wife's opinion shouldn't make you want to do anything drastic to yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's people that they break up in relationships and they talking about it's over. I can't do this no more. Nobody has power unless you give it to them. That's the only way they have power
Yeah.
over you. No one.
Yeah,
So,
people, situations, the same thing for situations. Like nothing really have power over unless you actually give it power. You know what I mean? Something could be an emergency if you choose to make it. You know what I mean? Two people could be in the same situation and react totally different to the exact same thing going on. You know what I mean? It's all about how you choose to respond to whatever's going on in your life. Yeah, most people react, but a response sometimes you can like, hold up, why am I acting like this?
absolutely. You always got, just always take the time, man. Just take the time to understand that everything that's going on in your life, if you take the time and think about it, you can make it through anything, man. It doesn't matter, So, Vance, you got anything? No, you got any?
Yeah, I mean, just everybody need to understand it. You know what I'm saying? That they're not a mistake. God put them on this earth for a purpose.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And just to strive to fulfill your personal purpose, and understand that, you know what I'm saying, God loves everybody. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
With their
So, and
flaws.
with their flaws, right?
Yeah.
So, and nobody on this earth is perfect. So, regardless of your situation, you know what I'm saying, people need to understand they're not mistakes. They're valuable. You know what I'm saying? And their life truly means something. They just have to understand it for themselves.
There was a quote I did see where it said that to really understand your self-worth is when you can see why God put you here. And that's when you can really understand your self-worth. So anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna go ahead and fellas and move on to the after conversation. Hey, it was a good conversation. I feel like we really finished it up strong with everything, talking about we started the show talk about mental health, talk about the things that we don't talk about as men and fathers. And I really feel like the relationship and then changing your mindset and now talking about knowing your self-worth is definitely something that we don't talk about enough as men, as fathers, and even as a culture. So I'm happy we discussed it. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. So now, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and ask y'all, get into our action before we get into these football picks that I'm still my bank account just keeps on going down. But before we get into that, I just wanted to ask y'all fellas, what is like a song, and I mean it don't have to be today, but what was the song like back in the day, let's say during the time, of your teenage years, was like the song that when you put on, you felt like they was talking about you at that point in time. So I don't know if y'all had enough time to think about it, I can give you all a quick second or two. But I mean, hey, and put these in your comments too. So when y'all hear this and you think of that song, or I mean, even right now, when you put it on, it takes you back to that day you heard it. It takes you back to that time where you was like, okay. I did want to also bring this up. So let me bring this up too. Tupac got his street named after him in Oakland. He got that recognition after all these years, even though, you know, he was East Coast before he became West Coast, but now that street is, you know, in Oakland, they gave him that respect, and you know, all this stuff is now going on about them talking about they found his killer and all that kind of stuff going on. Now they gave him his own street. I think it's long overdue. But my song wasn't by Tupac, but my song that for me was 3 6 Mafia, Popping My Collar.
Really?
Ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar, popping my collar. Hey, yo, every time that joint came out, and when it first started, hey, I remember the first time I heard that joint, I was in my car. I was in my I had that red Expedition back then, and I had the speakers in the back. I had 2 12s in the back with a 1,000-watt amp. That joint cranked, son. And every time it just reminded, you know, that was back in my youth, where, you know, that was how I was feeling at the time, living that life. So that was just my little anthem to go hard and have a good time, and just like it excites me every morning. I listen to that every morning, and then Money on My Mind would be the next one. Money on My Mind back in the day with Lil Wayne. Yeah. That was another one for me. So, you know, it's just something, you know, I just thought about. We talking about the self, what you call it, this, that, but hey, yo, I had high self-esteem. Ever since I remember, I've been popping my collar, dog. That's how you know what I'm saying? I don't know about what you remember, but ever since I can remember, I was popping my collar. So I was about that day. I was about all that life back then. So, you know. Now my song would be like a slow song or something by Anita Baker. But
I can't think of one song, man. I agree with around that era is the same era that I was feeling myself, like just feeling good, like just feeling like you can achieve and do anything, you know what I mean? Just yeah. And that was, and this one CD I would say that's around that same era is probably Big Time a CD. The Big Time with Manny Fresh. Like Big Time a CD, like that joint was I just remember riding to that, you know what I mean?
Really?
A lot. Yeah, it was just that around that era, you know what I mean? That time frame, them early
2000s.
That down south mindset.
Yeah.
Man,
dream big.
Yeah, I think so. Motivational joint that always kept me going was Ice Cube. Today Was a Good Day.
Oh, right? That's a great song.
You know what I'm saying? That joint always like mellowed me out, and things was always gonna be better, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Yeah.
Nas, Hate Me Now was another joint.
And yo, where you keep on getting this? Hold on, there's a bubble that keeps on popping up with thumbs up. And when you put the thumbs up, that's when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that happened like 2 or 3 times, and I was trying to figure out where the hell that come from. I was like, yo, how did you do that? I didn't understand. I thought Matty Ice was like sending you a thumbs up when you made a good comment or something. That was throwing me off.
I thought the same thing. I don't know. It don't do it when we do it.
That's it only do it a couple times. It did a couple times. I something that was triggering.
All right, don't worry about that. That kind of threw me off. I was confused. Go ahead.
Yeah, Nas, Hate Me Now.
Hate Me Now was great too. Nah. Today Was a Good Day, in my opinion, is one of the most perfect songs ever made.
Yeah.
Today by Ice Cube was if I had like that would be my number one vote. If I said what was the most perfect song ever made, Today Was a Good Day. Is one of the most perfect
just
songs
waking
ever
up
made.
in the morning.
Gotta thank God.
Yeah,
Hey, yo.
yeah. I don't know, but today seems kind of odd. Yeah, that's that.
No
Yeah,
barking from the dog.
yeah.
No small.
Hey, that
Your
just do
mama
like
cooked
we
the
just
breakfast
go
with
in.
no hog.
They just go all the way
Yo, son.
Yeah,
100%. Hey, so
yeah,
anybody, yeah. So put your song up here in the comments. Let's talk about it. But yeah, Vance, that was definitely a great joint too.
yeah.
You know. But I'm so fly though by what you call it? I'm so fly. That joint right there. I was on that one too. That was hard too back in the day. You know,
Yeah.
so the Big Timers, that was Big Timers, right? I don't remember. They had so many other names.
Yeah,
Big Timers,
yeah.
I'm So Fly. That was I'm So Fly. Was that Big Timers?
I think so. That was the big time, was man. That
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
bling bling. It was just the
Bling
feeling of that
Bling. Oh
joint
yeah, that was
around
too.
that
Yeah, that was
time.
hard. Everything Bling Bling. Manny
Yeah,
Fresh, man.
yeah, it was just that timing around there. That was something that I can just always remember that CD though. That big time joint. Listen to
All right.
everything. Down south was jumping around that time though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. So I guess I gotta pull this phone out and get ready to pull up FanDuel. Yeah. FanDuel been sending me messages like making sure I'm okay and this, that, and other because I've been losing so much. It's ridiculous, son. It is ridiculous. I felt
parlays. I'm telling you, it's them parlays, man.
It is.
We gotta win one before the end of the season, dog. All I want is one.
I mean, that five joint is difficult, my man. Like,
yeah, these games been vicious.
Well, maybe next season will change it, but I'm sticking to my losing ways right now. So you know, we'll figure it out. But hold on. So as y'all know, we won 4 out of 5. I had the choice to cash out. I did not. Because I said I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna go ahead. You know,
who we lost? Who was the fifth one?
The Bills in Cincinnati, man.
Bills Cincinnati.
Oh damn!
I told you that, but I think we was up in the air when we was picking that joint.
Yeah, what was crazy was I knew once it came to that game day, I was like, this is the one that's gonna screw me. I was like, I already know. I was looking at it, I was like, this is the one right here that's going to make me lose. And I was like, because I had placed another bet the night before college football, 5 joint, and then it came to the last game, same thing. It was the ranked 20. USC. Yeah, was it the Washington? It was like the last game of the night. It was the ranked 20th team.
Yeah, it was Washington USC.
Yeah, that punished me. And the thing about it, when I was making a bet, I knew because it was only 3 points. I was like, I should not be taking USC.
Mm-hmm. I mean that was gonna be an up in the air blend regardless.
Yeah, I don't be messing with the college joints, but that Bills Bengals joint, that was a tough game though to pick. We knew that from the start. I was like,
yeah, I remember what we was talking about. I was like, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and recap. So we had Kansas City, Miami. We picked Kansas City, Baltimore, Seattle. We picked Baltimore. Commanders, New England. Fans, I didn't get a text message from you this week.
You got lucky,
but the Commanders won. The Eagles.
You text me this week. Asked me if you should change the pick. I said that's y'all team.
Oh yeah, I did. Because they let go half the damn defense. I was like, yeah.
I said we still should win that joint. I said it's gonna be a terrible, but I say leave it alone.
Yeah, Matt made the call for you.
That's true. All right, and then Eagles, Cowboys, we pick Eagles, and then the Bills, Cincinnati, we pick the Bills. So now we're going to this week's bets. Let me go ahead and Vance, you got the games?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Hold
on. I feel like I need to go ahead and throw up right now. So I'm gonna just go ahead. Go ahead and tell me what these games.
I'm trying to pick on it. I got one hard game out of this whole joint, and it's the first one.
All right.
It's the Browns at the Ravens because we gotta throw that out there.
Ravens.
They playing at the Ravens too.
They playing at the Ravens. The Ravens are good, bro. And
That ain't
I
what
went
you were
on
saying
Ravens.
last week. You a believer now?
Nah, he
No,
wasn't saying that last
I'm not.
week.
No,
Not at all.
I'm not a believer.
He
in
just said
Lamar.
Ravens good.
Yeah,
No, I said
How
I'm
do
not. I'm not a believer in
Oh
Lamar.
my goodness! You about to wear some purple? That's what's about to
Oh
happen.
no,
You
I'm
gonna
not. I'm
be
not.
looking like Prince
I mean,
next week?
hey, no, I like the Seahawks. They beat the brakes off of them. So you know what I'm saying?
Shit, no
All
more.
right, let's move on, dog.
That was the hardest pick. How was that the
and-
hardest pick? Hold on.
Oh, I think the Ravens gonna win. I say this because I think the Browns are gonna give them a fight. The Browns always play the Ravens hard.
All right, let's go.
Ravens.
49ers at Jaguars.
Now, I gotta go.
49ers bounce back.
Yeah.
They coming off the bye. They done lost. I think 49ers bounce back.
And
they got
Chase Young.
McKenzie
And
back. They
Chase
got the
Young.
man back.
And they got Chase Young now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Chase Young gonna have 4 sacks this game.
Possible.
I'm going
He's
with
gonna have
the
4 sacks. He got
49ers bounce
something to
back.
prove.
Yeah, I think 49ers gonna win.
He got something to prove. Now
All right.
Montez Sweat already got his money from Chicago. So
Yes,
he
he
got
did.
something to prove. Go ahead.
Texans at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. I agree.
Go ahead.
The Giants at the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I'm not picking that one. That was negative 1,600.
All right, then.
18 point. They got an 18 point.
All right, if you want to mess yourself up, because the rest of these picks are
There's
difficult.
gonna be no money. I'm not making no money. I need to get my money back.
Hey, dog. First off, you just need to win.
Nah,
you don't
fuck
need to
that
win
win.
your money
I
back.
need money. I don't care about winning.
Gotta get that first W.
Man, if I win $10, I'm
Jesse,
gonna be mad. Go ahead,
here
keep
we
it going.
go.
I put it down
Jesse-
there. Go ahead.
Oh, the last one is the Commanders and the Seahawks.
Where that game at?
That's a tough one.
Seahawks. Get the fuck out of here.
You got Seahawks?
100%.
Go ahead. I ain't even gonna pick. I'm going Commanders though, but y'all put Seahawks down. I'm picking Commanders.
Yeah, I'm not putting this bet. This ain't
I'm
even worth it.
picking Commanders.
Now you said Seahawks.
Terrible.
I would pick the Commanders.
Oh, y'all
for
both
real?
picking Commanders?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna make us lose. What the fuck? Are y'all
I think-
serious?
I think Commanders are gonna win.
God. As soon as I thought I was gonna win, god damn, y'all just told me win.
I thought he said the Seahawks.
Nah. I said Seahawks.
Nah, I heard. I thought he said the
They
Seahawks.
said
before, but
Commanders. You said Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going with
Changing
I
that?
think the Commanders gonna win.
Oh,
think they're gonna win
my
too.
God. I might as well change that other bet. Now I don't even want this bet. Dallas Cowboys and Giants. I don't even want that no more. Because I already know that's going to be the joint to lose. Pick another game. Let's go.
All right. You sure you want the other game?
Yeah, I want another game, man. I'm done. Y'all made me sick on that one.
Jets and the Raiders.
Jets and Raiders. What the hell is that one?
Yeah, that joint ugly too.
That's ugly. The rest of them are ugly.
Only some Jets and Raiders. Come on.
It's 8 p.m.
Oh, so end of the night game? I see Broncos Bills.
Are the
No,
Raiders
Jets.
playing right
One
now?
of them must be playing tonight. One of them
Yeah,
playing tonight.
The Jets playing right now. I'll pick somebody else. This one gonna be tough too. The Packers at the Steelers.
Steelers. At the Steelers. That's the only reason why I'm picking them.
Yeah, I would pick the Steelers too. Packers looked pretty decent last week though.
Nah. I don't. After you gave me that whole speech about what's his name? Love. Yeah, nah, I'm not feeling that no more.
Don't let him dog you. Again.
All right, there you go. Now my bet makes money. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go. So we got, because that is sickening. Hold on. So I'm gonna just give you the difference real quick. So hold on, let's go back. So I'm gonna take away the Pat Steelers bet and put it back to what we say the Cowboys Eagles joint. Oh, actually, that's not horrible. Hold on. All right, so if we keep with the Cowboys joint, my $20 wins me 185, which is not horrible. I'll take that over. Now I gotta go back and look, and then if we go back to the Pats Steelers one, my $20 bet wins 293. I kind of want to go back now. I'll at least take that 180. All right, so I'm going back. I'm going back. Because
You see how
before
quick
it
you
said,
went back.
before
Yeah.
you know why? Because we went
Commanders?
Seattle.
'Cause
We
you
went that Seattle.
Commanders.
I went that Seattle Commanders drink. Then my bet was only going to give me $32. No, $60.
So you
now
ride.
y'all picked the Commanders, which
Yeah.
is still going to be a loser.
Commanders
That's
gonna win, man. I'm
180.
telling you.
Seattle ain't got
Commanders
no
gonna win.
defense, yo.
All right, so if the Commanders lose, you're going to give me that $20 back? Oh, it got real quiet. All right, that's what I thought. All right, so that's what we're
Nah,
going to do.
I don't bet. I don't bet.
All right, this
Commanders.
garbage,
Not
this
real
garbage
money.
game, this garbage thing we just picked. Okay, now what's going to be crazy is something stupid is going to happen, like the Giants beat Cowboys, and then I swear to God, I'll throw my phone out. I'm not going to play anymore. Anyway, we're gonna go
Anything is possible, man. Any given
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, especially with Rodney betting.
All right, so y'all blaming me for the losing? Okay.
No, it's
All
just the fact that the joint is scripted.
No, it's all, I'm good. I'm good with myself. I know my friends now. I'm learning who my real friends are. All right, so we got the 49ers beating the Jaguars. We got Baltimore beating the Browns. We got the Bengals beating Houston. And then we got Dallas beating the Giants and Washington beating Seattle, which is the one I know that's going to screw me. All right, $20 bet wins 185. That bet is placed. So there we go. Hey, fellas, it was another good show.
Good money.
Yeah.
Good money. Hey, I ain't hear you say you was gonna give me that 20 back. All right, you know what I'm saying? Because both of you, I definitely think Seattle is gonna win. I mean, the Redskins. I mean the Cowboys. I mean the Commanders. Sorry, goddamn. Commanders right now. I don't feel they've already consigned to losing. So at this point, they
why
gave
they
away
not
their
gonna
two
lose.
best defensive players. Man, Ron Rivera ain't gonna ain't gonna help nobody win. He got his one win, and now the team's gonna go take a nap this week.
And the
promise.
Patriots are bad, by the way. So
Yeah, 100%. They're gonna take a nap this week. So they about rebuilding. They don't even want to win no more if they gave away. But
they
you
not.
know,
They're not. This is the last win they got on their schedule right
is this
now.
the last one. All right, we'll see, fellas. Hey,
they
you
got
know,
a mob to come December.
Hey, you know, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. This was good conversation. Thank y'all for, you know, joining me and having this you know, basically tough talk on dad mentality. It was good times, and you know, it's going to be a lot more. Thank y'all for coming out. Everybody listening, make sure y'all catch us on everything. Is dad_mentality. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you follow and subscribe, and God bless. Good night.
Good night.
Peace.